collections room here at Castle Kilbride. My name is Kristen McDougall and I am currently working as a summer student under the Canada Student Jobs Grant. Today you're going to be following me around to get a little sneak peek into the day of the life of a CSJ student. So without further ado, let's get into it. So before we get into the details of what it is I do in a day here at the castle, I should probably tell you a little bit more about myself. So I started here in March of 2019 and have been here ever since. Prior to that, I was at the University of Waterloo doing my undergraduate degree in Honours History, and more recently I am working towards my Master's of Information with a specialization in Archives and Record Management. One of my biggest tasks this summer is to help prepare our entire collections room for the transition over to a rolled storage unit. For those of you who aren't familiar with rolled storage, it looks a little bit like this, and it essentially involves larger shelving units that have been placed onto a track, which allows them to roll forward and backwards to allow for easier access and a much higher capacity of storage in a smaller space. So while we are extremely excited for this upgrade, there is a lot of work to be done in prepping this space for that unit. So you're going to be following me along today to see what that process looks like. Let's start inventorying. So I have my artifact right here. It is a small day planner from 1925. The first step in inventorying any object is going to be locating the accession number. Typically with books like this one, we place the accession number on the inner front cover. I can see that it's not on the front cover here, so I'm going to check the inside of the back cover, and oh, there it is. Now that I've found the accession number here, I am going to enter this number into our Past Perfect museum software. This software helps us keep track of all of our items, artifacts, and records. So after I search for the item, Past Perfect is going to bring up the item's record. So here we have an image, we have the name, we have the accession number, and then the most important sections that we're going to be looking at is the condition report. So I'm just going to do a very quick condition check to make sure that this description is true, which it looks like it is, so I'm going to leave that as is, and then I'm going to go into location, and I can see that this book was found exactly where Past Perfect says it is supposed to be. So I'm going to sign off on the last inventorying date to make sure that a record is kept of it, and then I'm also going to do a status update. So just going to enter the date, my name, and then this object is okay. So that is all set. This item has now been inventoried, so I can put it back in its box, and that box, once I'm finished inventorying it, can go back on the shelf. Now, inventorying may sound like a little bit of a mundane job, but it is something that I thoroughly enjoy doing, as it allows me the unique opportunity to familiarize myself with each individual artifact, and a lot of them are really cool, and it really is a pleasure to get to work with them. Aside from that, inventorying does serve a very important role in preparing our collection for the move to rolled storage. First, it allows me to verify that each object is in its proper home. Second, it allows me to check out each accession number that is on an artifact to make sure that the number is clear and easy to read, and second, that it is correct. Third, it allows me to ensure that each artifact is stable enough to move. If it isn't stable, then I'm going to wrap it up in tissue paper, in acid-free tissue paper, and ensure that it is ready to be put onto a new shelf. So another way that I'm preparing the collections room for the transition to rolled storage is new labels on each box. So we have three kind of warning labels on the relevant boxes that kind of indicate different things to whoever is going to be moving the box. So you can see the purple one behind me, that is heavy, so the box that you're picking up is heavy. Then we have the red one, which is fragile, so there's an object in the box that needs to be handled with care. And the third is hazardous or contains liquid. So you might see that label on an object like this, which is an old linseed oil tin or canister, which actually still has linseed oil inside of it. So linseed oil is highly flammable, so we want to make sure whoever's carrying it is aware of the contents of the tin. So aside from those labels, we do have some inventorying labels that I will show you now. So here you can see on this box we do have a fragile sticker, so it does need to be handled with care, but we also have this big sticker. So this is an inventory sticker. It tells us where this item currently sits and where it's going to go on the new shelf. So this will really help with the move. It will make things a lot easier for whoever it is that is responsible for moving the boxes from place to place. While prepping the collections room does take up the majority of my day, there are instances where I get a little bit of a break from that and get to do some research into an artifact that I may come across in the collections room. So doing this research is actually one of my favorite parts of working with collections, as I kind of get to put on a little bit of a detective cap and try and solve somewhat of a mystery. So there are two different kinds of research that I may be doing. The first involves more of a identification process, so trying to figure out what an object actually is, where it came from, what time period it belongs to, who manufactured it, all of that kind of fun stuff. And then the second is more so trying to understand how or why an object fits into our mandate, or why it should be in our collection. So this may involve looking into how it fits in with the Livingston family, how it matches up with Castle Kilbride, or how it represents the history of the township of Wilmot. All of which kind of help us to figure out how and why an object is significant. So oftentimes it is a combination of these two different research styles, which kind of allow us to fully understand the history of an object and the kind of stories that it's trying to tell us. Thus far, you've seen a lot of tasks that are specific to me and my job here at Castle Kilbride, but what you haven't seen are the tasks that are actually shared amongst our team here. So we do have a few different things that each one of us are kind of responsible for on a day-to-day basis. So I'm going to show you the tasks that I have been taking care of over the past few weeks. So for that, we're gonna head outside. All right, we are now outside. As you can see, the castle is behind me, and we are going to be doing one of the shared tasks amongst the staff. So part of upkeeping a historic home like this one is making sure that the exterior is looking good, that all of the windows are good, the UV film isn't peeling off, we don't want to see any peeling paint on the front steps, making note if there are maybe weeds in the garden. All of that is going to go on my checklist here that I am going to date and sign after I have completed the exterior check. So we're going to go ahead and do that and then head back inside. Well, that just about concludes today's A Day in the Life video of a CSJ student here at Castle Kilbride. I hope you enjoyed your time watching this video. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to show off what it is that I get to do every day here at the castle. I absolutely love my job here, and I hope that my passion for the castle and for collections has shone through in this video. I hope you have a better idea now of what it is that museum staff do. And I hope you continue to watch the other videos that will be played in this series. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you come visit us for a tour.